We're going to be talking about how to factor trinomials. We're going to go from x squared plus 2x plus 1 into the form x plus 1 times x plus 1. And the main thing that we're going to be trying to figure out is what is this number here? What is going to come after the x? Plus 1. We're going to try and figure out that basically. All right, so let's jump into some examples. Okay, so our first example is going to be x squared plus 9x plus 14. So we need to figure out what is our answer going to be. It's going to be some form like this. Something times something. And since we're just dealing with x squared, it's always going to be x plus or minus something, and then another x plus or minus something. So let's just fill that in for now. So the something that I'm talking about, which is what's here, or what's going to go here, it's going to be something that when you multiply them, you get positive 14. But when you add the two numbers, you're going to get 9. So what I like to start doing is I like to figure out the different factors for 14. And so I'll just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, probably not 5, and 7. Okay, so 14 divided by 1 is 14, divided by 2 is 7, divided by 3 is not possible. Same thing for 4, and then 7 is 2. So for the most part, we just have 1 and 2 times 14 or 7. And then just look, does this one give me 9 when I add them together? No, it's going to give me 15. But this one gives me 9. So I know that these are going to be my two pairs. So these two numbers, 2 and 7, they're going to go in here. So I'm going to put plus 2 and plus 7. Okay, so another example. Over here we have x squared minus 13x minus 48. So it's going to go into the same form, something times something. And since we're just dealing with x squared, it's going to be x plus or minus something times x plus or minus something. So just like for before with the 14, we're going to bring down 48, and we're going to figure out the different factors for it. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5, 6. Let's stop there for now. So 48 divided by 1 is 48, divided by 2 is 24, divided by 3 is 16. Yep. Divided by 4 is 12, 6 is 8. Okay. So this problem is going to be a little bit different because we have negative 13 and negative 48. So that means when we multiply the two numbers, we're going to get negative 48. And then if we add them, we're going to get negative 13. So since this last part is a negative, that means that one of these numbers is going to be a negative. So it's either going to be these that's going to be negative, like one of these guys. So I'm just going to put the first one as negative and the second one is positive. And I know that second one's going to be positive because if you multiply a number by a negative and a positive, you'll get a negative number. So one of them has to be positive and one of them has to be negative. And then let's just figure out which of our pairs is going to have a difference of 13. And it's different. It's a difference of 13 for this one because it's going to be negative 13. Whereas over here, it was just adding the two because both of our numbers are going to be plus. So for this one, let's figure out which one of these have a difference of 13. So these, their difference is 8. Nope. Let's go down here. Difference of these is going to be 13. So this is going to be our pair. Now, we need to figure out which of these is going to be the negative. Is it going to be the 16 or the 3? Well, since when we add them together, it's going to become negative 13. That means that 16 is going to have to be the negative one, since it's the larger one. So if you did negative 16 plus 3, you get negative 13. So that's going to be our pair. We're going to have x minus 16 and x plus 3. Okay, so that's basically how you do it when you've got x squared. You look at the last one and you figure out what are the factors for it, and then you look at this middle one, and you figure out when I add these two pairs of factors, which one gives me the sum, if this is positive, of this number, and if you have a negative one, which of these pairs has a difference of that number. Okay, so let's try this a little bit different when we have x being equal to, x squared not being individual, where it's going to be x squared like 3x squared or something like that. So I've already done a bunch of the work here, so let me just delete some of this. Okay. Okay. So for this one, the two numbers we're going to look at, it's not just going to be the last one for the product. We're going to look at the last one and the first one. So 7 times 6, that's going to be the product that we're looking at. And 7 times 6 gives us 42. Now let's figure out the different multiples or factors for 42. And then we're just going to look at all of them and see which one adds up to being 17. Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and skip 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's do divided by 1 is 42. Divided by 2 is 21. 3 is 14. And, well, we can stop there. Look, 3 and 14, the sum of them is 17. So there you go. That's going to be your pair. But the final format that we want it all to be in is going to be some number x plus or minus some number times some number x plus or minus some number. So we can't quite just jump in and put in plus or minus already when we have these, because we need to figure out how much x or how much x here. So there's an extra step when we have the first part not being x squared. So we'll just rewrite the equation. We'll do 7x squared plus, and then the 17, we're going to break it up into two parts. So the 17 is going to become plus 3x and plus 14x. So let's do plus 3x and then plus 14x. And then at the end, we're going to have the plus 6. So plus 6. Okay, so now we've written this equation in a nicer way so we can factor it. So then what we're going to do is look at this part and look at this part and see what can we take out of it. Well, we can take out x from this one, and that's about it, because 7 and 3 don't really share any factors or multiples of each other. And then over here, well, we can take out between 14 and 6. We can't take out x because we only have one x over here. But we can take out 2. So let's do 2. Okay, so now that we can take out x from this side, we'll do x. And then whatever remains, we divide this by x. So 7x squared divided by x gives us 7x plus 3x divided by x, which is 3. And then we've got a plus sign here, so we'll bring that down and do the same thing. We were able to take out 2 from both of these, so we'll do 2 times and whatever's left. It's going to be 7x plus 3. So the cool thing is, once we solve this first part for what's inside the parentheses, that basically applies to over here. So we don't really have to do this again. Once we figure it out here, just plug that back in. Okay, now that we've got that, since these both share 7x plus 3, we can take out x plus 2. So we can do x plus 2 times 7x plus 3. And then that's your answer. That's the end form. Okay. Maybe you've memorized this side, but I'm going to erase it now. And then we're going to do this from the beginning. All right. So just like before, we're going to figure out when we multiply, we're going to do 2 times 28, and that gives us 56. Okay, so what are the factors of 56? they're going to give us negative 15 when we add the two multiples together. But when we multiply the two numbers, it's going to give us a positive number. So how do we get a positive number from negative numbers? Well, you can do two negative numbers. So let's figure out the factors. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5, maybe 6, 7, 8. Okay. I definitely know that 7 and 8 are going to be the factors for 56. So it's like 8 and 7. So what else? Okay, let's do 56. Half of that is 28. And half of that is 14. And nothing for 3, nothing for 6. Okay. So since when we multiply these two numbers together to get a positive, both of these are going to be negative. So let's see. Which of these, when we add them together, gives us 15? Okay, well, it's going to be these two. Maybe I did more work than I needed to, but, sometimes that happens. Okay, so we're going to have 8 and 7 as our multiple. Doesn't really matter which order it is. So let's just rewrite this equation, just like I did over here. We're going to break up the 15x into two parts. So we're going to do 2x squared minus 7x minus 8x plus 28. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter which one you write first. Like over here, I could have put the 14x and then the 3x. Same thing. It's gonna come out to the same answer. If you want, I can show you that at the end, and I'll come back to that. So let me just take note. Plus 14x plus 3x. Okay. All right. So what we do is we look at this part and this part and ask ourselves, what can we take out from this side that they both share, and what can we take out from this side? So from this, we can just take out x. 2 and 7 don't share anything, so it's just going to be x times 2x squared divided by x is 2x minus 7x divided by x is 7. Okay, so just note this. We've already figured out what goes inside the parentheses, so we don't have to do that all over again. So just put that over here. 2x minus 7. And then just ask yourself, what do you need to get 8x to become 2x? Or 28 to become 7? Well, here actually, let's pay attention to this. Here's the negative. So the negative 8x needs to become positive 2. So that's going to be a minus 4. Right? Because minus 4 times minus 7 gives us positive 28. All right, almost done. So now last step, just combine these two on the outside together, and then put them in little parentheses. They're friends now. So then the remainder is the 2x minus 7. Cool? Okay. So that's how you factor trinomials, when they're either x squared or larger than x squared, like 3x squared. All right, if you'd like to see how it doesn't matter which order you put these in, whether plus 3x first, 14x first, go ahead, keep watching. I'm just going to show that. Okay, so let's redo this. Okay, so then 7x squared plus 14x plus 3x plus 6. Okay, what can we take out from this and this? Okay, we can take out 7x. We can take out a little bit more this time. Last time we can only take out x, so maybe it's going to be different. I'll still show you. It's going to be the same. 7x. And over here, we can take out 2. Nope. What am I talking about? 3. Okay. So what remains when you take out 7x from these? Well, you'll have x plus 2. Okay, cool. And then 3. Keep it on the outside. And then x plus 2. Okay. And then combine these on the outside. They're going to be together. And then x plus 2. Okay. Well, let's compare these. They're the same thing. you just have 7x plus 3 at the beginning and x plus 2 at the end. But you basically get the same answer. So it doesn't matter which of these you put in first, whether it's the 3 or the 14 or the 14 or the 3. You get the same answer in the end. So don't worry about that. Just figure out your multiples and divide or break up this number into those two multiples. And then factor. Cool. All right. Thanks for watching.